Okay, now the first thing we're going to learn if you're wanting to learn the piano, the first thing that you should know is the proper way to form scales. Scales is pretty much the foundation to playing the piano. If you know your scales, then from that you form your chords, and then from your chords, those form into chord progressions, and then that's what makes up actual songs. So if you're starting out, then the first thing you need to know is scales and how to form scales, and really why they are, why they're what they are. That's how you get your chords built, is off the scales. So if you've ever heard this before, this is just a simple C scale. Okay? Maybe you've heard that before, and if you've had any lessons in the past or something, that there's one time that's all I really knew is that, and I really didn't know what it meant. But what that is, that's a C scale. That's your C note, and that scale is centered around that C note. Now if you're playing in the key of C, then that's the scale you use. The whole song is used up of these notes, and that's what basically a scale is. Now how to form that scale, and in the C scale is really your basic, that's the only scale that uses all white notes. So if you get this formula, remember, go back to the C scale and see how it's formed, and I'll show you how here in a minute. And that's how you can figure out any other scale off the keyboard. Okay? So that's a F scale. Okay, so how to form the C scale is, you'll notice we start off in C. Now the distance between C and this black note, which is D flat, is a half a step. And the distance between this note and this note is a half a step. So the distance between any two notes is a half a step. So the difference between this note and this note is a half step. Between this note and this note is a half step. So the formula for that C scale is, for any scale, is you're going to go, it's going to be whole step, which is D, whole step, which is E, half step, which is F, whole step, which is G, whole step, which is A, whole step, B, half step. So that formula is whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. And you'll do that. Now if you take that same formula that I just showed you there and go off of any note of the keyboard, you will get the scale that is around that note. So let's try it with F. Okay? Whole step, half step. Okay? Whole step, half step. See, that's an F scale. Okay? We can do it off of any note, and that's the scale. So let's try E. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step. Okay? Let's try something else. G. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step. Okay? It's as simple as that. What you need to do is just get every scale kind of memorized. Now you're not going to do it overnight, but just get started on that. And that's the proper fingering. You're going to go C with your thumb, D with your index finger, E with your middle finger. You're going to cross your thumb over to the F, then index finger to the G, middle finger to the A, ring finger to the B, and pinky to the C. Now going back down, you're going to go C, pinky, ring finger on B, middle finger A, G is your index finger, F is your thumb, come around to your middle finger on E, and then your index finger on D, your thumb on C. Now go through and try to learn every scale off of every note. That's what you need to memorize. Remember, memorize each scale. Get your hand used to doing that, and get every scale kind of. You know, you won't memorize it all, but every one of them. But kind of make sure the first 3 scales that you definitely have under your belt is the C, the F, and the G. Okay, get those 3 down pat. And those are the easiest ones. They got the most white notes in them. See, the F, the only black note it has in it is the B flat, and the G, the only black note it has in it is the G flat. And those are the 3, you know, most common, you know, for beginners. Those are the 3 basic scales that beginners play in because they're a little bit easier to get. So memorize those 3 scales, and then from there go on and learn the rest of them. Okay, and from here we're going to learn how to form chords, and that'll be in the next video.